This is the Mohawk Hockey Talk podcast. I am Joe Malone, and joining me, co-head coach of the Mason City Mohawk Hockey Club, we have Brad Bissig. Brad, good evening. Thanks for being here.
Joe, thank you. Appreciate the time.
Or I should say, thanks for letting me be here. We're in the coach's office here at the Mason City Multipurpose Arena. How about this? Back on ice Tuesday at Ames, JV varsity playing. And let's start with the JV game. 4-2, Ames comes out on top on that one. Your thoughts on the squad and how they perform there?
I thought it was really good, Joe, obviously, after the long layoff that we've had. Coming back to play on the ice, the kids were really excited. Yesterday in Ames, the JV game plays second, so those guys got the chance to now take the role of showing up to the rink and watching one game and then having to prepare themselves in the locker room and then come out for the second game. I thought they played great. We only had 9 guys dressed as skaters, so we were a little shorthanded with some injuries and some COVID stuff going on, and sometimes that happens, but I think the guys all responded well, and it was 2-2 until that final period, and we just couldn't quite get another one in there, and we made a few mistakes, and they ended up putting one in the back of the net.
Well, 2-2 through 2 periods, that's something to be proud of and build on. It's like do what you did those 2 periods the whole game.
Yeah, exactly. That was part of that talk in the intermission that we had, and that was, let's keep doing the things that we've been doing. Obviously, if they get a chance, they might score. But if we keep the pressure on that we have been, even though we have some tired legs, we can make things happen.
Now let's talk about varsity. Varsity was first, even though I've got them in the notes here second. It was a 3-2 win, and this coming in a shootout for the Mohawks, so an exciting way for the team to get back to action on the varsity side. What is that like for you as a coach watching a shootout happen? Are you kind of powerless at that point in time, or have you talked them through what the plan is?
This year, as that has been one of our focuses, kind of in practice, has been we work on that stuff. We actually do shootout type games at the end of practice sometime, and that's my chance to kind of evaluate kids and tell them that, hey, this is for fun, kind of at the end of practice, and to kind of try new things. But I also want to see you guys putting the puck in the net, because we might have games that come down to shootouts, and that this is how I make those decisions.
So how did the game get to a shootout? It was 2-2, through overtime and all that, but break it down for me. Were the Mohawks up? Did they come back? What was that?
Yeah, we actually came out, and I think we scored our first goal in about the second shift of the first period. So obviously that kind of tells you our boys were ready to play. We were excited to be back on the ice, and we cracked the score first. Ames came back with a power play goal. We took kind of maybe a dumb penalty, as you might say, but sometimes that hurts you. They fired the puck at the net, and it got tipped by a guy that was actually laying on the ice in front of the net, and it ended up in the back of our net. So sometimes bad bounces happen, but then the score is 1-1. Going into the second period, I think we got another goal. Make it 2-1 or 2-2 at that point. I'm not really sure. And then the third period was scoreless. Obviously, first night back on the ice, everybody was ready mentally, but the physical side of it might have been lacking a little bit with the long layoff. But 5 minutes of overtime, 4-on-4 style, was played after that, and obviously we had a lot of really, really good chances in overtime to maybe seal the deal, and we did have a lot of chances during the regular part of the game to maybe make it more of a win in our favor and not have to go to overtime. But at that point, I really liked our chances, and we get into a shootout. I have the utmost confidence in our goalie that was playing last night, Walker Radcliffe, and like I said, in practice we've been doing shootouts. We got 5 or 6 guys that can put the puck in the net if you give them the opportunity, and last night kind of showcased that.
Well, a win is a good way to get going again on the ice. Now, talk to me about the players and how they stayed busy with their hockey skills during it feels like forever, but what was it, about a month, less than a month? What were they doing to stay keyed in on what they need to do once the season restarted?
Yeah, it was just obviously we put a lot in their hands at that point, and because we can't get together as a group. But I think it was a lot of cardio, a lot of lifting weights for some guys, and staying physically in shape. You can't really how I want to say it, dictate or recycle skating, or but you have to be on the ice in order to stay in hockey shape. But the best you can do to keep your lungs and your air tank filled up and going through that time is what we got to do. Obviously, stick handling, shooting pucks, watching hockey. There's been some hockey on TV in college style, and watching hockey is always a great way to train your mind and watch other guys play the game and see what they're doing and what works for them.
Now, make-up games. Are there plans to try and make up some of the games that were missed while the shutdown was going on?
Yeah, that is definitely going to be in the plans, and I think of the time that was shut down, I think we have the best schedule for that, because 2 of the games are here against 3 of the games, I guess, that were here against were Des Moines, so they could easily come up during the week and we could play on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night or something like that if we had to schedule that. We don't necessarily have to schedule a team to come in on an open weekend, and then 1 game against Ames.
So relatively close for both of them.
Yeah.
Now, coming up here, you got Waterloo on Friday night. Waterloo, just a couple of spots better than the Mohawks in the standings. Granted, everybody's played like 3, 4, maybe 7 games might be the most games played. But what do you know about Waterloo?
Waterloo's always tough. I mean, as being so close, we play those guys. A lot of these guys have played these guys for 10 years. They got a lot of kids. They got a really good goalie. A junior, Caleb Rasty, played his youth hockey on a AAA team out of Omaha. Backbone's that squad. I don't know if we'll see him in net or not on Friday night, but I would expect to. He's kind of holds the fort down for them, and they got a lot of guys. They got a lot of guys that are big. They're fast. They like to play kind of a physical style of hockey and try to wear you down. And we just got to be ready for it. And I think our guys with the 3 lines that we have are ready to play against anybody in the state.
And then Saturday and then Sunday, it is Quad City coming in. And Quad City, they're hungry for a win. When you're going up against a team that is looking to make their first mark on the season, what does that do when you're talking to your team about that?
We can't change anything in our game plan. We have to attack that game just like we're playing a Kansas City or a Waterloo, because like you said, they are hungry for a win. We can't have any letdowns. We can't have any we got it in the bag type talk in the locker room. We got to focus on our squad and what we do well and what makes us successful as a team, and we got to build off of that every period, every game, every shift.
How good did it feel to be on the bench wearing a tie? I'm guessing you were wearing a tie, but Tuesday night down in Ames and watching these kids skate.
It was amazing. My wife might tell you the same thing. It's good to have hockey back. There for a while, there for a couple of weeks when I'm at home and it's 3:00 and I shouldn't really be at home, and before you know it, it's 5:00 and I'm still at home and we're eating dinner at a normal time.
Doing normal family stuff.
Doing normal things. Yes, exactly. After that, it's like, what do we do now? Shouldn't we I work overnight, so normally I only have an hour or 2 at home with the boys before I have to go to work at night, and now I'm at home for 5 or 6 hours with them, and it was just a change. It was a good thing to be at home to spend that quality family time, but hockey is our life as a family and mine personally, and I missed all these boys and just doing what we love to do in the wintertime.
Did you take a chance to soak it in a little bit?
Yeah, I did. I never doubt or I never second guess any moment, because every moment could be my last on the bench. You never know nowadays, and it just it was really surreal. Like I said, we had 1 practice. Our kids' legs were not totally there, but our kids were mentally ready, and they were all excited to get back on the ice, and I think that kind of helped fuel the fire and got us that win last night.
Wow. We're sitting here. My kids are doing Learn to Skate right now, just about 40 feet that other direction. And I told them, remember, you're lucky to be out here doing this right now because it's a crazy year. And so enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, and I've definitely made that comment to the boys. Like, we just have to take every day, one day at a time, and control what we can control in the world nowadays, because who knows, we might get through this weekend and maybe to the beginning of the year, and then we might be right back in the same boat that we were in, not playing.
Hopefully not.
Yes, hopefully not, and I hope we can finish off this season on a positive note for the Mohawk hockey program and for the youth as well, because I think a good, exciting finish to the high school team in the state tournament would just bolster some positiveness throughout the community and the program, and attract kids that want to play hockey.
Co-head coach of the Mohawk Hockey Club, Brad Bissig. Thanks for being on the Mohawk Hockey Talk podcast.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.